you know, and he trusted us, and he made us feel so good. He made us feel so good, and he passed me the ball. He never passed me the ball, and he passed me the ball. Kobe passed me the ball, and I shot a 3.
I always think it's so interesting how quickly things can change. In the year 2010, the LA Lakers won their 17th championship in franchise history, which would become Kobe Bryant's 5th title. And in the final minute of Game 7, we got this all-time great highlight between Kobe and his then teammate Meta Sandiford Artest, then named Ron Artest, finishing off a playoff run that may go down as one of the toughest in recent history. But just 1 year before that, in 2009, not only were these guys not teammates yet, they were doing this every single time they played each other. And the one in particular I wanted to talk about in detail was their matchup in March of 2009, where they got into it early in the 4th quarter, and we were once again reminded why it was a very bad idea to piss off Kobe Bryant. So let's get into the video. 2009. 14 years ago. I feel old saying that, and I'm only 23. But this would be the season where we would see the LA Lakers attempting to avenge their finals loss the previous year. The team being led by Kobe Bryant, who looks like he could possibly be on his way to winning back-to-back MVPs, while also leading the Lakers to the top of the Western Conference. Everything seems to be going great. Meanwhile, another team in the Western Conference has a lot of problems they need to work out. The Houston Rockets have been struggling to find their footing in the last few seasons due to various injuries to both of their stars in Tracy McGrady and Yao Ming. And so in the 2008 offseason, they made a move to acquire hot-headed scorer and defender Ron Artest, who was a once great player, but one that was struggling to find the success he had in the past because of that thing he did. And this would follow him throughout the next few seasons, because how could it not? But he would assure Houston that they had nothing to worry about, with him telling teammate Yao Ming over the phone, whatever Adelman needs me to do, whether that's come off the bench, 6th, 7th man, start, I don't even care. Whatever he needs me to do, I'm 100% sure it's going to work out. And he did seem as though he was turning a corner in both his career and his life. And throughout the season, he did provide a lot of usefulness to this Rockets team, with their primary scorer in Tracy McGrady constantly being sidelined due to injuries, with Ron averaging 17 points and playing physical defense. Through the first 3 quarters of the season, they found themselves with a record of 42-23. But the 66th game of the season is where our story takes place, because on March 11th, 2009, the Rockets would face off against the LA Lakers for their 3rd time that season. The Lakers were on a mission coming into this year. They would come into this game with a record of 50-13 atop the Western Conference, led by Kobe Bryant, who at this point is averaging 28 points, 5 rebounds, and 5 assists, and is competing with LeBron James for the 2009 MVP. But as up-and-coming teams do when they play championship caliber teams, the Rockets were clearly prepared for this matchup and got out to a 14-point lead in the 3rd quarter, which the Lakers would cut down to 3 heading into the 4th. And in the 4th quarter, we would see Kobe Bryant and Ron Artest sub back into the game. And I feel like I should preface this next part by saying that we've talked about trash talk stories on this channel before, and the potential consequences if you were to do it to the wrong person. And so what happens next is something that, to this day, I still cannot explain, nor can I find any reasoning for it.
75-73, and Kobe and Artest put his elbow and a forearm in front of Kobe. And now they get between them real quickly.
As they went down, Kobe said, "Get your elbow out of my chops."
I think the funniest part of this whole thing wasn't the weird elbow or the nonchalant demeanor of Kobe, or even the comment from Laker analyst Stu Lance. It was the fact that Kobe Bryant was on the floor for a whopping 3 seconds before this took place. But the more confusing part of this is why Ron Artest would do this in the first place, knowing Kobe's reputation as someone that absolutely makes you pay for messing with him in any way, shape, or form. This might have simply been Ron's way of showing Kobe that him and the Rockets were here to stay and give them problems for the foreseeable future. But over the next 6 minutes and 54 seconds of game time, Ron would learn firsthand just how big of a mistake this actually was, because right after that, this happened.
So the Lakers by 2. Artest trying to create contact, blocked away by Kobe from behind. Powers the roadblock in front, racing up the floor. Kobe with 8 on the shot clock by Artest, who scraped it away. Kobe stays with the play. He'll head to the line looking for the 3-point chance. But the shot clock down on Kobe, and he looked back. Loses it. Now, Artest gambled. Kobe, a good look at three. Got it! Burns Artest and matches the largest lead of the game for the Lakers. 23 turnovers for the Rockets on that takeaway. Kobe weaving his way to the left hand, rolls her home. Lakers by 4. Kobe on the fall away. Got it! Does it again. Lakers by a half dozen. 92-86. Timeout Houston. Best finisher in the game, trying to will the Lakers home. Now inside a 10 of the shot clock. Kobe on the lead. Go to the line. Look for the three-point play. Battier clipped him on the hip. The forearm in the face, and that's when he came over to us and he said, he is not going to talk that kind of you-know-what to me. And then you saw what Artest was trying to do. Out of a timeout, he was leaning on him, trying to move him off.
All the 3 points she was coming in for the Rockets. Not that should make a difference. 28 seconds to play. Kobe and Ron still talking. I'm surprised the officials are allowing this. I mean, seriously, they should tell both of them, knock it off.
The only thing that matters to Kobe is what's up on the board right now with 28.1 to play as Ariza comes in for defensive play.
Switch everything. There's no mismatch.
Dialogue must not be that bad all of a sudden now. Artest, though, has a real serious look on his face, but good. Keep smiling, please. Kobe is right where he wants to be, up by 6.
So yeah, that happened. And like I said before, this is perhaps one of the weirdest strategies that I've ever seen considering what Ron actually did and who he did it to. But given who Ron Artest was around this time, I suppose it wasn't that out of the ordinary, because he used to talk a lot. This time though, he just chose the wrong person and found out the hard way. And keep in mind that even though this happened with nearly 7 minutes left, Kobe didn't score after this until the 4:13 mark. So just to recap, Ron Artest pissed Kobe off, and Kobe responded by scoring 18 points in the last 4 minutes of the game. And if that wasn't enough, this is what Kobe had to say about that fourth quarter.
I mean, we had some battles in the past. You know, he's won some, I've won some. But, you know, he's never talked trash to me before. And so, you know, that kind of got me going a little bit. You should know better than that.
And I think this is one of the more interesting trash talk stories in history, because it was 2 guys that would become teammates just a few months later. Because after a tough 7-game series in the second round of the playoffs, where Kobe and Ron would get into it again multiple times, Ron's contract would be up in the offseason. And despite his great play throughout the last few years, teams were still understandably cautious about his past. There was only one team that offered him a contract in the 2009 offseason. You guessed it. And given Artest's will to win, which he has alluded to a few times in the past, as well as Kobe's attitude towards players like Ron, as told by former NBA player and teammate Matt Barnes,
I fully believed in him, but my whole thing is I've been a Laker fan my whole life, you know, and the fact that Kobe called me up like, anyone crazy enough to fuck with me is crazy enough to play with me. I'm just like, I gotta go back to Cali and play with Kobe, so that's what I did.
This was looking like a great but interesting match. And of course, we all know what happens after that. But it pretty much all started from this. Rest in peace to Kobe Bryant. The basketball world misses you every single day. But with all that being said, I hope you guys enjoyed this video. Subscribe if you're new, hit the bell to be notified when I upload, comment down below what you want to see next, and as always, I'll see you guys in the next one.